Okay, so it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's do a quick recap. Like, I fell asleep like 6 o'clock in the evening. I was so dead ass tired. I couldn't even hold my eyes open. They were fogging the shit out of us, and then raining. Like I had said, I got up in the morning. It was rain. Then they opened up the fog machine and fumigated us all day, and then later in the evening, it was like these big, heavy kind of rain was falling, and I had to be out with the dogs. And because I keep trying to do the fence to make sure he can't get out, but then I have to stay out there and watch and make sure he's not finding a spot to dig out. So, anyways, I'm standing out there, and my eyes were on fire. And I also felt like I was breathing in gas, like we're being gassed, like a fucking, and then, I mean, I gotta sit there and think, like, well, this is what they did in Vietnam to these poor people when they decided to take their land. And I don't know, kill a bunch of people because they got to generationally murder a lot of people every year or every generation and make money off of war and all their bullshit. But anyways, so being out there, and then my eyes started burning, and I came in and they just kept burning and burning and burning. I was like, oh my God, we are motherfucking being gassed. Like, there's no fucking doubt about it. I still had such a bad night last night, and she kept staying out, and I'm going to have to dump this water again. She always finds water outside to drink. And she has this big pool, and it's so heavy right now to try and even tip over because it's so full, because it just keeps raining and raining and raining and raining. But, they're motherfucking gassing us. And so, and then I fall asleep like my eyes were hurting so bad. I was just so tired. And then, so I've been up since 10. So I went to bed at 6, been up since 10, laid there trying to go back to sleep, looking at my phone till like midnight. And finally, my frustration level reached its peak, and I just got up. I mean, I can only be woke up like so many times before it's like, sometimes it's just like, what does the universe want from me? Like, oh man, it's fucking rough, man. So anyways, but I'm up and was gonna start cooking. I started some bread. I went in to look at my sourdough start, and it was funk. It smelled really good. Like, when it's smelling good, it smells like breast milk. It's crazy. But I'll smell it, I'll be like, man, this smells just like breast milk. So I don't know. It must be what breast milk is, kind of like sourdough. I don't know. But anyways, it looked funky. It looked like there was black things in it and stuff. So I had to dump it out and start over. And I don't know. Maybe I didn't. But to me, it looked funky. And so dumped that out and started some bread, just regular old bread. I have a bunch of other stuff I'm gonna do for cooking and stuff like that. And it's wild too, because there's all these people who are so angry about this holiday, if you want to call it that, and like that we're all out celebrating certain things. It's like the day is off from work, and everybody has, for their whole lives, had this meal that everybody waits all year long for, this meal and the leftovers and stuff. It's like the tradition is this meal. Like, you don't very often, just cook Thanksgiving dinner for no reason. It's like, oh, let's just make a Thanksgiving dinner tonight for dinner. It's like, it's kind of just like everybody just waits and has it that one time a year, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're having Thanksgiving food. And, which I can skip easy. I don't give a fuck. I think last year I made myself like a yam and some sweet potato. I think I made some stuffing. I think I made stuffing and green beans and stuff. I don't remember. Made myself some food that was like, oh, this is like, traditional food. I feel like, oh, I got my traditional food. And, but it gets so looped into, if you eat the traditional food, therefore you're a colonizer and you hate all indigenous people or something. It's like, I don't know. This stuff has just reached such a pinnacle point of whacked out. Of everything is just wild. I mean, some of these content creators, like, oh my gosh, it's just, it's fuck. It's just getting wild out there. And then let me see, like, because yesterday, well, I mean, they've already got so much shit going down. I mean, they how many times are you gonna say that I was on the Rainbow Bridge? The Rainbow Bridge. It was the Rainbow Bridge. It's like, okay, this is weird. Like, we have to have this big thing on the Rainbow Bridge. And now I thought that they had opened the stuff yesterday. But then I just saw a police person and it said 52 minutes ago. But I don't know if this was somebody who just found it and shared it. Because that's the weird thing is there's people who just go and just keep stuff going. So I don't know. I thought that they had already solve the problems and open the stuff up. But it makes total sense that they're going to block all this shit off for travelers because what have I said for fucking years now? It's all about this containment and control. They control our movement. They always are in control of our movement. And so they're waving their dick in everybody's face right over there. And I mean, they probably fucking shot that car in the air themselves so that they could cause all this big thing. And I mean, it took like 30 seconds before the whole fucking news and every senator, oh, it's a terrorist attack. It's a terrorist attack. That's what's going on here. Well, isn't that funny? Y'all seem to know right what it is, right? Sure couldn't be a drunk person or anything else. Can be any just radical driver or anything. It has to be that because that's what you guys are setting up everywhere. So anyway, supposedly they were closing all that off. All of the, like over here by me, because they kept saying, because it was wild, because yesterday I went to go get water. And I can't believe how fast I got through the water. Jesus Christ. So I had to go get water. And everything's glitching. Like it's wild. Every motherfucking thing is glitching. And I'm seeing other people who are aware that are saying everything's glitching. Time isn't matching, but the electronic glitching shit. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to put on my music and jam out. It's like a couple miles to get to the water and then a couple miles back. And so, you know, you got to listen to a couple songs. And I was like, I'll just jam out, listen to my music, go get the water. And so I go plug in my phone into the car, and it won't work. It was glitched out, wouldn't work. So then I put it on the radio. Even the radio was glitching. It was playing a song and it kept skipping back and replay. It was the weirdest thing. It kept going back and it also would sound like it was changing eras. Like this one song, it would sound like a scratchy album, and then it would sound clear, and then it would jump back. It was the wildest thing. And I was like, so then I changed stations. I was like, I can't listen to this shit. And it was a news station, I guess, and they were just talking about the news. And this got me. I had to do a TikTok right then and there because I was like, this is some fucking whacked out shit, man. Because it's the Canadian radio, right, that I hear. And so there's talking to, you know, the Canadians, you know, who are going to be sad and depressed through the holidays, and they need to call 988. Please just call 988. You know, the government's here for you. I was just outraged. I was disgusted. And I mean, at the same time that they are saying that their MAID is made for the, you know, the sick and depressed. And, you know, I mean, you got an eating disorder, you got depression. Well, you know, you'd have no reason to be here. And so they want to make sure you call so they can help you so you don't, you know, just do yourself in at home. No, they need you to do yourself in the machine. They need to be able to harvest, man. They can't just let that shit sit there rotting at home. Like, they need your parts, man. So give them a call. Tell them your problems. They'll direct you right where you need to go. They'll hook you up and put you out of your damn misery. And then, you know, they'll profit off of it at the same time. I was just like, oh my God, I was so disgusted. They're so fucking manipulative. Like, how in the world, the hypocrisy. Yeah, we put you down if you're depressed, but please call us if you get depressed over the holidays. We really want to be there for you. And then you have the DJ pushing it too. And then they start talking about the explosion that just happened at the border. And so they started talking about that all entries had been closed down. All the entries into Canada had been closed down. And I was thinking, well, that's weird because I'm right up at the border. And I was like, so they've closed all these down over here. And then the guy starts saying, yeah, all 4 of them. And I'm like, 4 of them? Well, we got 3 right here. You can go across and you can go across at the 5. You can go across at Sumas. And I know that there's another one in there. If there's not 3, there's definitely 2 right here. And so if they're saying, they closed them all down, and I'm thinking, okay, but I have the radio station that's over here. And my radio station is like from Vancouver or something. And so why would they be saying they're shutting them all down and not be talking about their own? Like, that was so weird. And so then I started seeing all these, and this was while I was gone. I just had heard about it. And then I came back and then I saw these TikToks and all this news and all these people talking about it and stuff. And I've seen all this footage and all this shit. And so, it's like they have 4 entrances, like right over there by like Niagara Falls. Like, I don't know all the entrances over into Canada from over by New York, or I have never been over there. I've never been around Chicago, Boston, the Great Lakes, New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, none of that. Maine, I have never seen any of it. And so I don't know how they cross over the border over there. But it sounds like there's a bunch of them. And it sounds like they've closed them all down. And, if you've got travel things and, I don't even fucking know. Then I saw the footage over in California, which is strange because I thought that they were saying about the 110 or something. So there must be the 10 that was closed down. I don't fucking know. It was like, I think they were showing the 110 and the 405. And it was already dark. And they're showing like a helicopter or drone footage or something. It is wild to see. It was really, really beautiful because you had all the red lights going one way and all the white lights coming this way. And then the way the shadows of the car, so it made it look like this whole, it was like a picture. It was like I don't know what to call it, but it was really cool looking, and it was so fucking long in the way the roads twisted. And I saw another guy who was doing a video about it, and he was saying how pretty it was, and he was saying it looks like the Kundalini moving, and it was wild looking the way everything was moving. It's like this red river and this white river moving simultaneously next to each other, but they're going 2 different directions. And it was super long. And then he was saying, to all you Californians, it's like, this is what you want to put up with. This is the lifestyle you choose. And so this was last night. There was that much traffic. And the news report was saying that, I don't know, I guess because that one freeway is closed down or something that's causing interference. And of course, because everything is controlled. And then, so expect that it's going to take you like 5 hours or something to get somewhere. And the traffic is going to be so bad. It was already so bad. And they said it's only going to get worse. And today, between, I don't know, today in the afternoon, they said it'll be the worst. And so make sure you work around that, whatever your schedule is, to consider that you're going to probably be on the freeway like 5 hours. And it was astounding how much traffic there was already going. And that was last night. It's like, how many more? I'm like, what? I was like, God, I am so glad I don't live there anymore. And it's just wild too, how the people just get so much like They'll put up with anything just to be on the coast, just to be Californians, put up with anything. It's like, it's wacky, man. So and then over, I think in Tennessee, they had 2 train derailments. So they've got 2. I don't even know what all's going on with that. There was a guy on the ground who was trying to get up and get footage about it, around it. And the officers or whatever told him that they had to move out. So then they were walking through the forest trying to get around and stuff, and show but supposedly 14 cars, but supposedly there's 2 of these. And I'm sure there's probably some fucking chemicals and bullshit. I had seen so many videos of people saying that they were gonna start shit today at the Macy's Day Parade. Like they're going to take their, not their philosophy, their protest. They're going to take their protest to the parade. They're going to make sure to, to get that going. Oh my God, oh my God, these social justice warriors are just so much, man. So they are going to do that. And so I was seeing, I've seen a whole bunch of those people. And then, so it was obvious, something's going to go down. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, all those things, those carts and stuff that still haven't detonated, they're still all tied up around the town and stuff, around the city. And that Macy's Day Parade is televised. And so I was like, oh my God, what the perfect, because I was like, it was weird how many things that they had done and they didn't ever do anything with those. And it was like, well, maybe, didn't get enough, maybe not enough people paying attention when it's a marathon. They want the big crowds. They want televised. Maybe, Halloween parties aren't enough. Just people out, putting it on TikTok and shit. Maybe it in Twitter or whatever. Maybe they want this big elaborate scheme going, this big parade, and then you got these SJWs that you've ignited who are out there, gonna get this party started. And then you're gonna have these things exploding as people are trying to, like, who knows what it can turn into. And maybe it'll be nothing. Maybe it'll be totally diffused and nothing will happen. But man, you just see this stuff being set up all around. And and there's so much going on with New York. Same with California. Both of those places, both of them, seem to me be having a hard evacuation, subliminal messaging going on. Like, get out of this place. Get out of this place. They've got fucking people like in New York going directly insane. We got to get out of this place. We got to get out of this place. This is dangerous. They can just come into your house and take you and say you have a disease and lock you up and hold you captive. So anything you go against them, they're cutting all the things. They can't pay the police anymore or something. Like, there's a whole fucking, you can't pay the police anymore. At the same time, you've got all, like, it's wacky. Like, they're setting it up for the chaos. They're setting it up for tragedy. And, so many people just, they want to be New Yorkers. They want to be Californians. It's like, part of the stuff that is going on is you breaking free from your identity. Like, mine was taken from me, and I had to go through it. But everybody has to question your identity. Like, you're so stuck on being Californian, and look at what you will put up with. Like, I saw this girl, and she's making her whole content creator stuff. She is a recovering Californian, and she's moved over, I don't know, maybe Tennessee. But she said, there's Georgia, there's Alabama, there's all these other places over there you can move to, and you can get back to, your roots. And like one of her videos, she's showing this pickup truck out in front of a place with this window down. She's doing a whole video like, no, their window's rolled down. It's not broken out. It's rolled down. It's rolled down because they aren't worried anybody's going to take anything. It's just like you can safely just sit here with your windows rolled down. Like the window's there, but they rolled it down. Like it's not broken out like what you're used to. It's like, oh my gosh, see what the people will put up with, the traffic, the price, the control. There's so much stuff that the people are like, yeah, that's it, that'll work. I can manage. You know, I gotta be California, be close to the beach, man. So, you know, we all make choices, lifestyle choices. And this is a period of time for you to evaluate, reevaluate, and figure out your choices and why you make them, and if you're making the best choices for yourself. And it is, it's just, man. Hold on, a bunch of stuff coming in there. I'm just like, So, anyways, you have to really, you know, think about what it is you want in the world, what it is that you're looking for. And I don't know, it's just like people are so caught up in an image. They just want the image, you know, whatever they have to put up with to complete their image. They don't care. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's people who think like, oh yeah, well, I was sitting 5 hours of traffic. Yeah, you know, like they just accept it. Like it's no big deal. And it's like, how much of your life are you willing to give away? And the frustration. Anybody who's ever been stuck in traffic, like, I mean, you know, that's an energetic feeding frenzy. Like the fucking archons. I think they're called archons. The ones that are supposedly these beings that are the energy suckers, the ones that live off the loosh or whatever. I always see these things, I don't know if they're called archons or whatever. I just see them as like a, kind of like a shadow emotion. Like they're just a condensed emotion of like anger, fear, resentment, sadness. And they attach, when you are putting out that energy, they attach to you, and then they feed you to continue that energy. So they will feed you messages about yourself, about other people, or whatever, to keep you trapped in a certain energy that feeds them. So it's like an ecosystem that works for them. But then the human is, you know, beat down, wore out. I've seen, it was kind of weird because yesterday I saw this, I think it was a podcast, and they were talking to Mateus DeStefano, and I really like him on initiation. And I know Gaia Channel, like I know that there's misinformation and stuff. When I was listening to him in that show, it was like I was just remembering things. It was like it was just reminding me of things I already knew. So there was a lot of stuff that was like, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah. You know, and I felt like it was so much confirmation. And then yesterday I didn't watch, you know, because I won't sit and watch Bashar or any of these people when they start talking about certain things, because it conflicts or it messes up my own messaging, and I have to focus on my perspective and my messaging. I can't get it interfered in somebody else's. And so so I clicked off of it, so I didn't watch it, because he started talking about humans and all of their souls are just the nerve endings of the planet. And I don't know, the way he saw it or explained it, or if he is an oppositional point or a control, I don't know. But anyways, I see it differently than that. And if I explain it and I see it, you know, like if somebody listens to me and says, oh, I hear it the same way as he's explaining it, then, you know, that's each person's perception, each person's perspective. But I don't know. It's like, I see it as like, it's weird. Because I see each oh, and there was another spiritual person too this was another person talking about somebody they follow, I think, and they were explaining something about this person and how this person says that there's stews of souls. They're made in these stews, and that's why they all match the same vibration. And then there was another one, and they were saying, oh, what was that one? Okay, the stews with vibration. Because I was like, okay, well, that's kind of similar to what I was saying about the, if you think about the different organs and the human anatomy, and you think about the different functions and the different philosophies behind how each thing functions, then I was saying you think about like soul groups being like that, and you think about them coming from a certain soul energy, like if there is 13 oversouls or something, then all of those souls would come from that, which more souls would come from that, which more souls would come from that. Oh yeah, because this one guy, he was saying, this is another spiritual person I saw, and he was saying that it is here on earth that they're making souls, and in order to continue as a soul, you have to evolve or ascend in order to take your place as a soul. Which I don't understand everybody's different ways of seeing things and perspectives and stuff. So I'm going to say, even though I probably say a lot, is, kind of more like what I see. And what I see is just as in your mind, you have tons of thoughts, tons of things happening all the time, tons of thoughts happening, dreams, and it depends on what you focus on. But there's a lot going on in there. And then you can draw your attention to a focus and then, become aware of that. So there's all sorts of shit going on, just like in the universe, all sorts of stuff going on. And so you as an aware, like a conscious energy. So there's a difference between all the different energies. There's conscious energy, and there's all stages of development. Like animals can be another stage in the development, is because they have like a two-dimensional view. And then once they go through their two-dimensional view, then they can go into three-dimensional and then change into different characters in order to get to experience that other perspective. So like a dog can't have a three-dimensional perspective when it's only has a two-dimensional perspective available. And, and I don't know. I mean, we don't, we can't communicate with a dog well enough to understand, like, if it is ascending into a higher state of consciousness and it is becoming more aware of like a three-dimensional, or if it does still have a limiting view of things, just like, many animals, they are on instinct. They are on kind of like just go out and enjoy your life. Kind of like Jack over here. So different. I can't believe how different all these different dogs are that I bring around Stella. Like, she is definitely not just a dog at all. She's so different, and she's so aware, and she's so tuned in, and she's so communicative. And oh my God, yesterday we had the funniest conversation. And oh my gosh, she's just, like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if she is understanding life on a three-dimensional perspective. I don't know. But anyways, there's different perspectives and different different awarenesses, like how consciously aware. Like, even in this awakening, you can see, like, people who are, I don't know, more awake and I don't know, the chosen ones or something, that they are always talking about the people who aren't awake, like that they have no awareness. They're just like NPCs, no awareness of anything. Although I know tons of people who aren't awake, who have awareness of a lot of things, who are questioning things all the time, and aren't just walking around on, autopilot. They're breaking free from autopilot, but they're still very controlled and contained by this environment, which everybody has been programmed and indoctrinated, in which there's a purpose, there's a reason for it. And so but as our conscious beings, so you have an alignment, you have a vibration, and as man, okay, so kind of like I see like a what are those things called? Like in a science lab or something, and then with water, and then all of the things that grow in the water, and how they all go into different places, into their own environment. And so it's kind of like the same kind of thing. So like the souls go into an environment, like there is a created environment that the soul can go and experience. Like there's all these different places that are out around us, all these different realms and different levels, like of all these different living creatures, all these different living beings having different experiences. And it is, some are on, they're in their soul, they're in their soul, and they are experiencing as their soul, going around without any vehicle. Then you go into certain experiences, you need a spacesuit, you need a vehicle, you need something to go in and experience it. And I saw somebody explaining more of that stuff with like Adam and Eve, and how it was the red and blue and split apart, and how the toroidal fit, like all that stuff is so interesting when you hear it. I can't explain it all, but it's interesting when you hear these people explain it. And how everything is just such a lie. Even the waters, like there's so much to this, that we're born in the waters, and it's just it's a lot. But there's this thing about being birthed into it and stuff. But that is so that you can go through and get this, like this glove, this spacesuit on, so you can have the experience, so that we can experience what things feel like. It's different. So, but our consciousness is, man, this is so, because it's like your consciousness is its own thing, and it has as much available to it as it can understand. And so, that's why increasing your understanding of things, my stomach is gurgling and growling, and so you have your consciousness. And so outside of this realm where we exist, when you, oh man, this is hard to explain. Like, it's so weird how you can see some of this stuff and you can understand it, but then you try and explain it. It's like, because so your consciousness can be in this experience, but when you're outside this experience, then you're a different form. And there's all sorts of places to go and experience your form, or experience other realities or other places. And like I've talked about, it's all based on vibration. And I think this one guy was even saying, like, you have to come here and make your soul before you even get to go out and incarnate and stuff. I was like, I don't know. Like I saw this girl the other day. She watched something, or she started listening to somebody talking about reincarnation or something. She's just like, I've just never been interested in reincarnation. I've never really thought anything about it. I haven't really cared anything about it. And I don't know. Now this is, kind of, flicked an interest in her mind of like, But the thing that gets me is like, how many people just go around, just don't question anything? Well, I didn't think about that. I don't know why. Why do I exist? What am I doing here? Like, people just don't even fucking question. It's like, how? Jesus Christ. Like, I was fucking reading about reincarnation over 40 years ago. And people are like, this girl is probably, I don't know, 30 years old, 35 years old or something. She could have still been in her 20s, but still, I was questioning stuff in my teens. Like, I don't know. I just don't get people at all. Like, it's so, it's like, oh, fuck. Put up with anything. Don't think about anything. Don't consider. Don't try and understand. It's like, what the hell? So, anyways, I don't understand it. And then this other person saying like, in order to even be allowed to incarnate or something, you have to, I don't even know where some of these people are coming up with this stuff. So anyways, but the incarnating is like I've said, it is like nothing is real. So it's like focusing on something. It's like trying to understand something. It's like reading a book to understand something. Only on the concept of incarnation, you're not just reading the book. You're not just reading about an experience. You go into the book. You go into the experience so that you can experience, so you can learn from the experience. But all experiences it's like a giant library of experiences, and all your experiences are like your own personal library. Like, you have all of your information inside of you. You don't recall every single thing. It would be overwhelming. You don't need every single bit of information about yourself. You have certain information that in the incarnation that you're working on, that it has an experience designed so that you can, it's putting things back into balance. Like there's it's all a pre-planned experience. And then I see these people who, this is something that is like, I don't get it, because all these people who keep saying, like, you have control. You have control over your life. You can change your life. You can change all of this stuff by changing how you see it. So you don't have, the way that they keep explaining it, because there's an aspect of that is true, but the way they keep explaining it is like, like you manifest $1 million, you manifest this life you want, but they are taking it on a different level than how it really is in my perspective. Because in my perspective, you are, manifesting the life that you want. You are working towards it. So it isn't just like, well, I hate my life, and so now I'm just going to go focus on a different life that I want, and I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to shift my reality into a different life, and I'm going to skip all these parts. Like, this is the stuff that they say. And they take this reference from the CIA files and say, this is what they say you can do. You can just skip from one reality to the next, and skip, if you don't want to experience something, you just skip it. Just skip out of it. And then you, like, you don't have to have anything ever happen to you that is negative, because you have control over everything because you're the consciousness that's creating it. And it's like, I mean, that is true on a more of a limited perspective to me, because it is your birth, especially in this experience, you're birthed into an experience that is already predestined. It's already designed. It's already destined. Every single person that you're going to interact with is already set. There isn't like you're going to just, maybe you're going to run into this person. Maybe this is going to happen or something, or, this person just accidentally crossed your path. No, it's all set. It's predestined. So where people keep saying like you can just change your destiny, you can change things, you can make it go different. It's like, to me, like I've said before, is like you have two different perspectives that or two different ways of seeing things, two different approaches, the light or the dark. In the dark, you are beat down, nothing goes right, the world's out to get you, life sucks, it's a total victim mentality, is the dark. So you have that way that you can approach life, and it's just in, the dark. Or you can just approach it of the light, and you can go, as far into the spectrum to the point where, you don't acknowledge anything that is negative to you. You just don't acknowledge it. Is try and ignore everything that you don't like or you don't want. And I don't know. Some of these people's philosophy is so different than mine. Because to me, it is, because I was on that timeline before. I was on the timeline where it was like just being beat down, beat down, beat down. And then it's like you change your attitude. Like, okay, this isn't a beat down. This is lessons. I'm learning a lot of stuff here. I'm growing, I'm learning. And yeah, there's challenges all the time. All the time. Challenges. And it's always getting you to, find yourself in there. And so there's, but that is still, it's destiny. It's all these things are meant to happen that happen. And so when you're focused on that, it's like you can't just ignore the things that happen. You can't just keep yourself in a safe little boy in the bubble kind of life. Like, I'm not going to let anything. It's like you have to have the negative experiences so that you can learn and grow from them, and so that you can find your balance. Like, you need to find your balance in all this stuff. It isn't just, only have one thing. It's like you have to find the balance between two things, and you have to stay driven even when things are hard, even when things are, beating you down and wearing you out. You got to still continue to pursue your dreams. Don't let things get in your way. You continue on your path. And so that is being, in the light. You're focused, you're driven, you're not letting things get in your way, you're not letting things beat you down. You're seeing the purpose, you're growing and learning from everything happening. And, because over here, as long as you're playing victim, it's everybody else's fault. It's just poor you. Nothing goes right. Everybody else's life is great except for yours. So you're just playing the victim. But then it's weird how you have all of these love and light people who have aligned with that mentality of let's ignore the certain things that they're all there for you to grow. Like, it's like judging all these different experiences. You got to lose your judgment of the experiences so that you can get the most out of the experiences. And so, and it all has to do with, it's not just raising your vibration. Right now, it's all about this raising your vibration, because this is the time of ascension, because we're bridging into another reality, another dimension, another experience. So right now, it's about raising your vibration, because you are, well, I would assume you want to stay in this vehicle and cross the bridge into the new age, from, the long route, instead of, dying out of the experience and coming in from another door, another way to come in. Because all these different experiences, there's all these different souls that go in and have all these different experiences. Like, you can, but it's like it's all in your mind. It's like your mind is the entire universe. It is like you can know about that life, and then you can put yourself into it so that you can experience it. But nothing exists that is, man, it's like nothing really exists except for what you see, what you believe. And it's like, like what I was talking about with the synapses, how it forms a grid in your brain, and we are these synapses. So I could get what Matthias Stefano was saying as being these synapses in this extension of the planet, this experience. And we are experiencing, though. We are also experiencing. We're not just an extension of their experience, although because of our attachment to the planet's experience, we are part of their experience, but we also have our own experience. So it's man, I don't even know if I'm making sense. I don't know. It makes so much more sense for everybody to work on their relationships with their guides, because when they show you stuff in your head, it makes so much more sense. But then I don't know where some of these people are coming up with this stuff. But is this what their guides are telling them and stuff? Maybe I don't know. Because to me, like I said, your soul is a much higher vibration than what you are in this experience. In this experience, you can feel like going into a headset, and you go into a wheelchair, and you get to experience what it would be like to be somebody who's paralyzed and can't use their legs, and how would you figure out how to make your life worthy, and how would you, what parts of you would grow from that experience. So then you get to go into focus on that experience and hyper focus, so that you can go in this case, it's like birthed into the experience through another being, so that you can come in to experience all different things. Not everybody's just trying to be like, what would it be like to be crippled? What would it be like to be hideous looking? What would it be like to, there's all sorts of things that people come in, and then when they're in it, then they forget, and then they're like, oh my gosh, how horrible that I have to go through this, and I have to be so strange looking compared to all the other people. But it's like, you chose that. You chose to come in and experience that. And then it's just wild how you have all these people who just don't remember any, and then they blame the world for their experience. It's like, you came up with it. You chose it. And so that's one thing, is like all these people who think like the experience chose them. No, you chose it. The experience didn't choose you. You chose the experience. And it's all experiences are so you can grow and expand yourself, so you can learn, so you can see yourself, and you can see like, oh, so even if I'm in a wheelchair, man, I can still be productive. I can still bring joy to people. I can still, it's like you get an opportunity to see yourself. And, there's lots of people who see themselves and then cross over to the other side and they don't like what they saw. And there's lots of people who are in the experience and they put things out of balance because they forget what they're doing and they forget who they are and they get all caught up in the experience and then they react in a negative way. So they create a karmic out of balance situation that they have to put back into balance. And so then you are going in, I think with the same group of people to play this stuff out. It's just weird. It's because like I always see it like if I think about my own soul, in my own soul, I feel like I was here at a certain time. I think I've come here at different times because I have a recall of different lives and stuff of throughout different times. But I feel like that it was a long time ago when I was here. And so then coming back now, I feel like it was coming back with all of the knowledge that I have learned through all these different experiences. But I feel like that this is not, like, this is a place I came now for this, what's happening. Confirmation for what's happening on the planet. I didn't just come here just to go through and incarnate and just, I came here for this purpose of this experience, this ascension, this thing that's happening. And I didn't just come here for my own ascension. I came here, I believe, and I've said this before, it's because I've ascended before. And I think I ascended a long time ago. And even when I had gotten that session with Daniel Scranton, and I talked to the Arcturians, and they said that I'd already ascended and descended and come back. And so, but I mean, there's a reason why some of us know things, and it's your inner knowing. It's what you know, and there's a lot of people who know a lot of stuff, but they've just forgotten. And so I'm not saying like I'm the only one, because I know there's tons and tons of people here that are just the same as me. But to me, like, I was here before and I've ascended, and I stay up in realms that are more high vibration, that are more about peace and stuff. I think I spend time in the Palladian kind of thing, and I've thought that for a long, long time. There was a lot of signs that were coming to me to give me that perspective. And so in that place, so if you think about my soul came here, went through these incarnations, these different ones I have recall of, different ones where there was giants involved, different ones where I had to choose duty over love, different ones where I, when I have this strong one about this gay pilot guy, he didn't pick duty over love. He picked having fun. And I don't know, we have different kinds of lives all the time. Like that guy, he was all about having fun. And it seemed like he was kind of learning about, crossing boundaries and stuff. Like there's more lessons, just like, the lady who carried the water for her village, which seems like, well, what's the point of that life? There's a lot of points to all the lives you're learning in all of the different situations. But so but in these different ones, so you learn and you grow and you experience, and then you're constantly raising your vibration through your experiences, and then it gives you other places to be available. So you can ascend into higher vibrations through the work that you do in your incarnation, in your expansion of your soul, in your expansion of your understanding and your inner knowing, and the work that you do in the universe. So that can lead you to an ascension, just like what we're going through right now. And so ascending up into like the Pleiades. So there's beings that are up there right now. There's beings that are up there doing things and living and everything else. So that is simultaneously happening, just like as all these different realities and realms and everything is happening all around us. Simultaneously, all these things are happening. So and it all has to do with your consciousness. How much control can you get over your consciousness? This is this opportunity to get control of your consciousness. But then once I leave from here, I go up and I would be it's more like in just my soul body. So I just live more in my soul body, and gives you more, like you can do more things. You can zip around and, you can go and experience a lot of different things. But like you move different, and your experiences are different. And so in the high vibration, then it's a lot more peaceful, calm, loving. It's not all these challenges like here that are exhausting. And so there you can go and you can, experience all different things. I think a lot of them even go and help people all the time. They always get referred to as like earth angels and stuff like that, like because their energy will just come zip down and help somebody. They stay more in an energetic form, but then when you see them, they can represent themselves in a visual so that you can see them. And I think a lot of them are super beautiful and stuff because their soul is beautiful. So when it expresses itself, you just see beauty. It doesn't mean like the same thing as what beauty represents here, where, you gotta have this shape eyes, you gotta have this shape nose, you gotta look this way, look that way in order to represent what people consider to be beautiful, which is all on trend, which is always changing depending on, what gets popular, who gets popular. And then these people push it through in order to complete trends. I think it's more than just sales and marketing. I think it's about keeping people down and depressed, because when you pick one look to represent all the different people, then there's a lot of people left out. There's only so many people look like this one person. And so, like Kim Kardashian, when they were pushing, like, oh, this is the ultimate. This is, every woman who wants to look beautiful needs to look like this. And I can't believe how many women went out and did stuff to their bodies for that. Like, well, I can. I mean, I got those fucking implants. Not for that. Not so I could look like her, but obviously so I could look like somebody or something. So, I did get the implants, so I should have compassion for these ladies, but they're doing like butt implants and then humongous implants. Like they're trying to look like, I don't know, it's like they're trying to create anime characters or something. Like some sort of, what are those things called? Those little comic books. It's like they're trying to create comic book character girls or anime. It's like, I mean, could you get more patriarchy in how these women are looking? Like, are you doing this for you? Are you doing this so you can get attention of men? And do you think that the men are going to treat you like a human when you represent yourself as a character, like some sort of, like, it's a persona. It's not even real. It's like, and then, oh my gosh, I think this is a new show or something. And these two women, I saw a clip of it yesterday. I was like, oh my God, our society is like, oh, Jesus Christ. There's two women who are best friends who each of them have, I don't know, like a 4-year-old strapped to their chest. Like their boobs are so huge. I don't even know how they found a doctor who would do this to them. But there's doctors who do that. There's people who do anything for this shit. And these ginormous, and then they have these other Like everything about them is fake looking. Nothing is real. Their whole attitude, the way they talk, the way they act is also fucking fake. It's like, where do you think you're gonna get, like you're a character. You're not real. You're not even trying to be real. You're just trying to be a character. I'm like, I don't know, I guess you'll attract another character who thinks that your character will make their character look good. Like these two girls are getting ready to go out for the night. And then they're picking out clothes. The girl's already dressed skimpy. The other girl shows up in her skimpy outfit. And then, so then they're going to make a whole thing about, well, now this girl's got to get dressed. And they got to go through her closet. Oh, well, she can't wear that. She wore that on a red carpet. You know, so can't wear that again. So absurd. The absurdity of this shit. And then this, I had to go off of it. It was like so shallow and so disgusting and so absurd. And this is what our society promotes. Like these girls have a TV show. Like, I don't know what show it is. I don't know. Maybe it's Housewives of Boob Village or something. I don't fucking know. But it's, well, it's not Housewives because they're looking for some men. They're out looking for them and using, you know, their boobs, their inflated lips, their extreme lashes, their painted on brows, their extensions, all that to go, you know, get themselves a good relationship, I guess. I mean, what do you think you're going to get? This is where you got to think about what you're putting out. What are you putting out into the world is what you're going to get back. If you're putting out a complete phony, fake persona, then that's what you're going to get back. Somebody who is a total fake and phony, who is also into that fake, phony lifestyle. And do you think that that is going to be a secure relationship? You think that's going to be, you know, somebody you're going to, I don't know. To me, there's like a hyper focus when somebody gets so shallow and into that vision. And so then they become hyper focused on, you know, just like that girl, like, oh, I can't wear that. I wore that once before to a red. It's like, why is it even in your closet then? Why haven't you just sold it or given it away? Like, what is your point? So you can just pull, oh, I wore this to a red carpet. Who gives a fuck? Like, come on, chick. Red carpet to what? Like, oh my gosh. There's people who just think like that gives them value. You think because you walked on a red carpet, you have value? You think that makes you special or important? Like there's people out there doing things that are important. There's people who are actually making the world a better place. And when you're just tearing it down and just trying to, you know, get on camera or something, it's like, I don't know, so shallow, so non-productive. And so anyways, but you have all these girls who, you know, they all want to look like Kim Kardashian, who's fucking, I don't know, clone 2.0. She is, who knows how many of those Kims there are, how many of any of some of these people. Like, I saw this yesterday too, and this kind of offended me a little bit, was because they were pulling up all these different actresses, and I said this before, but anyways, sorry, I just saw this video, so I won't say it again. They were pulling up all these actresses, and they've all gone and got cheek implants, and then they've gone and done something here to sink this in, and so I don't know, they take, like some of us just, this is our face. This is just our face. And then they go and do this artificial shit to their face to try and, I don't know, mimic high cheekbones, I guess. And then the more that they can make it sink in, the more they think that their cheekbones sticking on. I'm not sure if this is something that is supposed to make them look younger, but it keeps making them look more heinous and scary looking. It's like it looks creepy. And then, so I saw this person doing a video pulling up all these actresses who have jacked their faces up, doing this weird shit. I guess even this guy was so bothered because Miley's now done it. Miley's even done it. Like, I don't know what they're doing to their faces, but when these people are going and ridiculing their faces for doing this stuff that my face just does naturally, it's like, it kind of is irritating. It's like, why are these girls got to go in and jack up their faces and make it look weird so that they make these certain features that some of us have naturally, that they want to make it look like it's strange. Like, and it's like, why are some of the, like, why would they even choose this, like this high cheekbone thing? Like, I'm telling you, when I was a kid and I was younger, my cheeks were, you know, it was like the bane of my existence. I was horrible, and I had these giant cheekbones that stuck way out, and then this whole cheek that filled in. And everybody else had these like little small faces and delicate little faces and stuff, you know. And I always felt like, oh my gosh, you know, with these big, broad cheeks. And so I was always like, you know, I just felt like I looked so strange, so odd compared to everybody else. And so it's very strange now for these people to get older and start injecting and putting in fake cheekbones. It's like, this whole thing is just weird, man. It's just so weird. I don't know, like, do the doctors all of a sudden tell them, like, well, that's what you need to do, is, you know, that'll lift your skin, and we'll put in some cheekbones, and I will, so they make themselves look like some sort of weirdo alien, and then it's like they turn that whole kind of face structure into some sort of weirdo alien looking face or something. I was like, you know, well, I didn't go and get these injections and stuff. This is the face that I have. So, and then it's like they're trying to turn it into some sort of freaky alien face. And then you have people ridiculing this face with the cheekbones and then sunk in. It's like, well, I mean, these people who are doing it are giving the rest of us like a bad name or something. I don't know. It just irritates me. was yesterday when I saw that, because I had already noticed that. I was just like, I noticed that they've made a fucking filter for people's voices that is similar to my voice, and then it is like, I don't know, too. It's like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I gotta just not let this shit bother me, apparently, as this place is just fucking whacked out. And but it makes it like, well, I can't let it minimize who I am, but it feels like that. It feels like, you know, like I'm trying to be a filter voice, and filter voice just override my voice, and then this fucking weird face thing they're doing, and I don't know. I'm probably letting things bother me that shouldn't. That happens when you've only got a few hours of sleep. So, let me think what else I was gonna say. Just bitch. I don't even fucking know. Let me think. So, anyways, to me, definitely seems like there's going to be stuff that's going to be going down this weekend. Like, it's already started. It's already started going. And there's another date. So, I don't know, this Lockheed Martin or whatever the website is, that I thought the whole website thing was the debt calculator. And then people started looking into, well, where's the debt calculator come from? And it comes from this Lockheed Martin or something. And then you go in, and there's things even on the debt calculator. You push on this button and it takes you to these other screens. And so now on this screen, because now you have people saying, well, I don't even think it's real. And you have all these people losing their minds because there's so many dates that have come and gone, and they had this huge expectation this was going to happen or that's going to happen, and so it's not real. Nothing's real. Everything's fake. It's like, but the whole thing is, it's all about this awakening, and they're waking people up. So all this stuff happening is for the awakening. It isn't just about the stuff that's going to happen. It's about, some of the stuff I think is just to get people to question things. So, anyways, so you have, what was I going to say? So, okay, so this new thing that has showed up on there is a clock counting down. So there's a countdown happening. And so now there's all these people like, what's the countdown? What's the countdown? Why is there a countdown? And is this even real? Is this fake? And, all these. So the countdown would put us on the 27th. And there's stuff about the 27th and the money thing. And it's on the debt calculator and the countdown. And so I think it probably has to do with the money thing. And there's a lot of this stuff too, I think is like there's a certain group that they can cause a lot of tension if they push a certain direction. So they can keep saying, oh, this is about to happen. Oh, this is happening. Oh, ISO 221. Like they're pulling everything out from under. They're pulling the rug out from under these people to create panic and to create more of them to expose themselves. And that one guy who exposed himself, was arrested and stuff. He was like worked for the government in the education. Like it was like he was somebody who was up there, and that guy was like a fucking creep. And all these different creeps lead to other creeps. Like I was so glad that guy got arrested. That was harassing that Egyptian guy, the food cart guy, and he worked for Obama. Like this is just strange. I was like, okay, so did this guy purposely get arrested to expose things? Was he, like, this is weird. But he's sitting there harassing this guy, being so racist and stuff, to the point that he got arrested for it. I was glad that guy did. I mean, he was like, when you saw the video, it was like, God damn, Dick. Like, how fucking rude. God damn. You have nobody to talk to. You got to go up and just harass people like this and say rude shit to them. It's like wild. I'm glad that guy got arrested, but all these different ones, just like that guy from the education department of government or whatever, that's going to lead to a whole bunch more people going down. And so if they keep doing this money thing and saying, like, we don't know who all they're trying to affect. Like, we know they're trying to wake people up. We know they're trying to get people's attention. And it takes outrageous nightmares to get people's attention, to get people to wake up, to get people to see. And so it takes a lot to push people to see. So we have that going. And then you have them doing things to get people to expose themselves. So you have that going. Like, there's a lot going on. I don't understand how you have these people who keep getting so upset and so disappointed. Yeah, it's disappointing how this drags and drags and drags and drags. It is exhausting. Like, for those of us who have been awake, especially, like, I mean, there's people who've been awake just since 2020 and just since 2021, just since 2022, and they're fucking exhausted. I'm like, I've been fucking doing this way longer. And so, fuck, I'm exhausted. I'm fucking sick of it. Like, I totally, it's fucking bullshit how it just goes on and on and on. It's like, yeah, you're trying to wake these people up and you just don't care about the rest of us, I guess. How drugged down we get by all of this. But I don't know if that's why, those of us who wrote it out, there's going to be a big sweep that's going to come in to give us justice, to give us back the energy that we were putting into it and trying to hold it together through all of this and keep our perspectives on what's real. And the real part is the awakening and them trying to get people to wake up, trying to get people to have awareness, trying to get people to pay attention in life. And then, not being so judgmental and hateful towards people, to really understand like how heavily programmed and indoctrinated people really don't understand that there's anything more to life than what they're doing. They don't get it at all. So, there's a lot to waking people up. And then all of the fucking nightmares and shit going, all of the fucking tragedies and all of the fucking nonsense. I mean, and then you got all these fucking wackadoos out just saying crazy shit. Even the guy who they've arrested for the kids who beat that kid to death. And they asked one of their dads, talking to one of their dads, and the dad is, it's like, oh my gosh, damn. Ugh. I mean, this one kid just, he was an honor roll kid, just killed his mom as she was laying on her bed, and her 2-week-old baby infant is next to her. She just, now this 2-week-old orphan, I don't know, maybe it's got a dad, maybe but it's not gonna have his mom anymore. And the kid who did his mom in was like, I mean, he's being tried as an adult at 13, and he was honorable. Like, I mean, everybody's shocked. And then these kids who beat this guy to death, and then their dad is out there saying, well, I guess he should have brought a knife to that fight. There's another one where this guy was in a grocery store, and he was walking, with his cart, and this kid's coming, pushing the cart for his mom or whatever, and this kid's like 13 or something, and this is a big black guy, and he's walking, pushing his, and he goes, hey, excuse me, buddy, or something like that, and the kid goes off on him and starts being like, fuck you, you wanna fuck, all this stuff, in the grocery store. And the guy was like, his mom isn't doing shit. She's just standing there like it's all code. You can talk to a grown-ass man this way, and no respect or anything. And this guy he's out in front of the store, and he's like, do not, like, you think you're gonna let your kid talk to a grown man that way? Be ready to have your kid be treated like a grown man and have his ass fucking kicked. And I mean, when you see like these parents' attitude, like, I mean, you got all these parents who just want to dump their kids off at school. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to, I mean, there's video of this one girl. She's so overwhelmed being a single mom. She just took her 3 kids and dumped them off at her mom's. Literally told her kids to get out of the car. The mom and the daughter are sitting there arguing and saying, I'm not taking your kids. And she's like, yes, you are. Get the fuck out of my car. Made her kids get out of the car. I think they were like 8 to 12 years old, 8, 9, or 8, 10, and 12 or something like that. Makes them get out of her car. She drives off at the same time this grandma is sitting there saying, oh, I'm not raising your kids. I'm not raising your kids. This is your problem. This is your responsibility. And I guess there's more people saying in the conversation more that the girl is saying, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't have it in me. I am worn out. I can't handle it. And the mom is just like, too bad. I had to raise all you guys by myself. Too bad. You just get out there and do it. And then the girl's saying, you didn't teach me how to do anything. And the mom's like, well, I had to be at work. It's like, do you see the problems in our society? And do you see why it takes a village? And do you see why people need to take more responsibility before they go start families? And do you see why they need to go and get to know their partners before they just get knocked up by any old stranger? Do you see why people should not be just, going into bios and pictures and basing their love connection on nothing but nonsense, artificial bullshit nonsense? And then we have all these people who don't know how to fucking raise their kids at all. It's not like I fucking was a master at it or something, but I did everything I could. I, completed the task. I did the best I could, just like we all have to do. And but the people just dumping their kids off, like, I can't do it. We have adults who are not adults. We have adults who barely are even moved out of the development stage of a teenager. They're all, we've got a society of inept people who don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how to take care of anybody else. They manipulate through life. They are a society full of sad, depressed people who are beat down victims who just, would rather focus on being a victim than trying to make the world a better place. And we have a complete default, a complete breakdown of our society, utter complete breakdown. And you can 100%, anybody who understands life in a spiritual perspective, you can see why this has to happen. You can hear people talk and you can see why they're not going to be here much longer. You can hear people's attitudes. You can see what's happening. And, it's like the end. It's the end of a certain vibe. That vibe is going. And everybody who is of that vibe, who can't get out, who can't break free from that vibration, is trapped in it. It's held back. They're holding themselves back because they can't move out of it. And it is, they're not going to go forward. Like there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's something you don't even need to question. Like, are these people going to go forward? How can we have Age of Aquarius with these people being there? I mean, it'd be the exact same thing. So, no, these people are not going forward. They're not going to be in the Age of Aquarius. They're going somewhere else. They go somewhere else to work out their stuff. But you don't go forward. The only way forward is to carry that energy, to be that movement, to be of the mind of the Age of Aquarius, to be of the mind of love and unity, and be of the mind of working through your stuff and being your best version of yourself, of reevaluating yourself, and being in service is a big part of it. And don't think being in service is some fucking easy thing. It's very draining, extremely draining. And, but those are challenges. Those are things that each individual has to look at, And mine has always been boundaries, hope, patience. If you notice in your life, you'll find certain themes that you continue throughout your life, that you are learning and growing and trying to do better at. And so, and that's when you go into any kind of issues, then you start thinking, oh, so what am I working on here? Well, I know I've got these main things that I'm always working on. So how does that fit? What is this experience teaching me? What is it trying to help me grow over here? What am I starting to challenge myself so I can step myself up, so I can step into a new frame of mind, a new understanding? And so, there's a lot of people who are going to, go. I still don't know what's going to happen. Like, I mean, it definitely seems like there's going to be some big things that are going to happen. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they have, like a tower event at the Macy's Day Parade. If they start having explosions and stuff, wouldn't surprise me at all. They have it televised. They have all this tension building. They have all these. They don't just have their instigators. They have their people that they have programmed to get out there and save the world, get out there and take a stand. And it's like you're interjecting yourself into things that you don't even know about. And I don't know. I mean, it's just getting weirder and weirder. Like the blue people are, their whole thing is falling apart. And I don't know. I mean, they're going to, some of the ones that don't see, they're going to have to see. And man, it's just weird. It's just weird because you see them, and some of them will be on this side of the strip, and some of them will, I mean, it's just weird. The whole thing is just weird when you hear all these different people saying all these different things, and it's like, because you're all trying to interject yourself into something that has nothing to do with you. And the things that have to do with you are in your orbit. They're in your space. Those things are your development. And so these people are constantly interjecting themselves, making themselves important in somebody else's battle and somebody else's fight. And in those documentaries on Tubi, it has one about the strip. 2020. I bet you it has all that footage and stuff that they keep showing. It's like this stuff was going on in 2020. So, is it still going on this whole time? Or are you just getting to see what you weren't paying attention to? And is that going to be a part of the big reveal? You're so interjected in something that happened years ago. And I just don't get how all these people don't understand about these different organizations. like the cartel, the Hamas, the what are all the different ones? You have all these different organizations, all with different names, but they all work for the same people. They aren't they aren't created by the group that they say they're created by. They're created by a different group, and then they interject them and say that they're there for them, but really they're not there for them. They're there to keep the fight going, to keep the chaos going, to just, we're all sitting here having Thanksgiving dinner and having a good old time. But this group, they decide, well, we need to go out and, throw some bombs over there. We need to blow some shit up and blame it on these people. So these people start fighting with them, so we get a fight going, because they can't sit there and let anybody have peace. They can't let anybody just do their own thing. They've got to, try and control everything. And they always want everything to be a crisis. They always want everybody to go through loss and pain and suffering. So all of their different organizations are there to create that. And so they have all of these ones that are out there, and I don't know. Because you get all these people saying, they're against this, they're for this, no, it's this, no, it's that. And it's just like, I really don't think it's any of y'all's business. And I think you're trying to, interject yourself into somebody else's problems to make yourself important, to make yourself, that you really care. You're really a good person. Nobody else is, because they're not standing for what you stand for. So they're no good. And I think all of that stuff is to expose to the individual stuff inside of them. So I think all these different things are going to blow up somehow to get people to look at themselves, to see themselves, because there's no reason that you should be over there fighting somebody else's battle that you know nothing about, that has been going on and on and on. And then plus to keep saying it's about this one place and keep waving their flag when this is going on all around the place, everywhere. It's like, well, if you're just against the genocide, then that shouldn't just be represented by one flag. Like, we need the human race flag. We're standing up for the human race, not just we're getting a certain group of people to come over here and then we're going on their side, even though we don't even know what side that is, so that we can interject ourselves into this battle. So I think that there's going to be more of that in probably at the Macy's Day Parade, and who knows if it'll be diffused, and who knows if there's armies sitting there waiting for stuff, or if there's people who are, wearing red caps and putting on certain t-shirts so that they look apart, so they can go out and wreak havoc and then tell everybody it's some extremist, that it's not even that person, it's just this other person dressed up like them. It doesn't take much to trick people around here. People just do. It's a bizarro world, I swear to God. So anyways, and I am seeing, some other spiritual accounts and stuff like that, and they're all just getting really worn out. Everybody's just getting really worn out. The glitches are happening in other people's stuff. Like, I know that's the thing with my stuff, my dryer, my oven and stuff. It's just this world is glitching out. It's just glitching out. I mean, it was so weird when I got my car, and the song kept going back. Yeah, I was like, well, and then another song came on it, and it was doing the same thing. I was like, this is weird. and it was just glitches. Everything is just glitching, because this isn't, nothing is real. None of it's real. And it's, and the pole shift is the ending of one thing and the beginning of another thing. And so, if that's going to be what it is that changes everything, and that is going to be, that half the people go. At this point, it is like, let them go. I mean, they're suffering. They're stuck. They're suffering. They're lost. They don't care. So there has to be a release. there's a release button from the game. And so there's going to be a big release and all these people will go. But there's still going to be challenges for all of us who stay. It's not going to be just like it's an easy street. There's going to be a lot of people here who are going through the crises and are here to learn and grow and are going to be headed for this transition, this development stage. So, but oh man, I was just like, if that's the way it's going to go down, it's going to shift and whatever is going to happen, and half the people are going to go, I just wish it would hurry up. It's like, at some point, it's just like, okay, well, it's whoever goes. You know, it's nice while I knew you, but it's like, ugh. I mean, this is just draining, man. It just is. So anybody else who's feeling drained and stuff, it's just, you just got to keep yourself going and just, man, this is just so crazy. I was just ride it out as your energy just drains and drains and drains. And you got to find ways to rebuild yourself, keep yourself feeling okay. And especially while we're totally under attack with the sicknesses and stuff. And it's like, your body's worn out, your body's drained, it's fighting off all these illnesses. We're in different realities, different emotional states, like we're in utter chaos. We are in a tornado that is just spinning us around as fast as it can. And it's weird because, yeah, in that one experience that I had when it was like I went into that tornado and it was all those different realities, which in that one CIA paper says it is like papers just stacked on top of each other. Just like I said, it was like I kept seeing like cards. But I don't see how you just skip out of one reality. Like if I just go, okay, well, I'm leaving this one now, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump up there, you know, where I, you know, in the future where I see where I want to be, I'm just going to go ahead and jump up there and skip all this part. I don't see how that, but I totally believe in time travel as you being able to go into other places. And, you know, but it's about your consciousness, the development of your consciousness, your abilities, what you can do with your consciousness, because you don't really exist. You're really just a mind. You're really just a spark out there in the universe that is trying to understand itself, that's trying to live and experience itself, that can go into different realities in different places with other beings that are trying to experience and understand themselves. And then we go into these different places, like if you think about it in your body, like different little islands, different in how it can become toxic and diseased in this certain environments. But other environments are, you know, positive experiences. But still, we're just, you know, we're a thought. We are an energy. And it's what we do with that energy is the creation of our reality. And it's where we focus. It's how we look at things. It's how we feel about things. It's, that is who we are. So anyways, I don't even know. I've been talking an hour and a half. I feel like I'm just spinning around and spinning around. But anyways, it just seems like it's just total chaos, all the different things that people are saying. And I mean, some of the stuff is just like, I don't even know. I don't even understand. So we just got to keep riding it out. We just got to see what happens, you know, see what truth is revealed to us, see what is the truth, see what is, you know, we just got to see. Like, I'm open to being wrong. I'm open to seeing, I want to see the truth. Like, I don't give a fuck if I'm wrong. I just want to see the truth. I just want to understand. So, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm fine with it. It's fine. You know, I'm not going to stress out about it. And there seemed like there was something else I was going to say. It just seems like, man, people are just locking in so much. So many content creators are just locking in and kind of like such a hatefulness. And I hope I'm not coming across that way. I hope I'm not coming across as just being hateful and divisive and stuff. But I don't know if it's just the energy that's out there. And so anyways, hopefully I'm not coming across that way, but man, I just can't, fuck, it's intense. Like, so anyways, whatever you're gonna do over the next few days, just take care of yourself and, try and live the best way that you know how to live. Be your best version of yourself. And spend time in reflection, trying to understand yourself. And don't try and change other people. Try and understand life through your own perspective. And, there's going to be a lot of people. Thanksgiving dinners, this holidays that are going to be, I imagine there's going to be some tension. Won't surprise me if there ends up being some shootouts and shit. Like, there's going to be some crazy Thanksgivings, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll be all over the news, and I'm sure there's probably MK Ultra people out there. And yesterday, when I was driving back from getting the water, there was this car in front of me. It was like a BMW, and it was a guy driving it, and it was somebody in the seat next to him. I mean, in the passenger seat. I don't know if there was anybody else in the back. It was like somebody was just out driving, and the speed limit's 45, and they're going 30 miles an hour, and it's just one lane, highway, a state highway, and they're taking one lane going 30 and a 45. And I was way further back, and I saw somebody passing them, and I thought, well, that's weird, passing on this road. It's not, and I didn't realize until I caught up with the guy, he's going 15 miles under the speed limit, and then there wasn't time for me to pass him, and then we got to the curbs, and he wasn't going to go speed up at all, and he's just sitting there talking like he didn't give a fuck. And I was like, I really think that got people out there just to aggravate us, just to cause problems. I mean, that is absurd, going 15 miles an hour on a state highway, 15 miles below. And I was like, I really think that they have people out there just to cause us to be frustrated, just to cause us to react, just to get us to want to pull him over and fucking stick our finger in his face and tell him what a fucking idiot. I mean, I was sitting there, I was getting so tense, and I was like, oh my God, dude, pull the fuck over, get the fuck out of the way. And then I was like, okay, can't do this, you can't just get yourself. And I just went into this really angelic tone, and I just started doing these, and tried to get myself pulled in. And I was trying to use this tone to send out to him to find peace so he would stop doing this. But I found my own peace until I got to turn into my street and get a fuck away from him. But just keep in mind, I think that there's people out there who are there just to aggravate us, just to create tension. And so don't let this place get to you. I mean, do everything you can to just keep yourself centered and keep yourself, centered. And it's a challenge. This is definitely challenging times. So challenging. So anyways, I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow and talk. And then we'll see what happens today with disasters. But then there's supposed to be things tomorrow. Black Friday is supposed to be some big thing, but there's gonna, I'm sure, be fucking disasters. They have a fucking Dollar General is putting hundreds of things for a penny. So people are like, oh, you thought Walmart was bad on Black Friday. We'll see what happens at Dollar General. Because there's people who just run out there just to fucking get a deal. They don't give a fuck. I can't even tell you on TikTok. It is totally just ridiculous. I mean, there's, I guess, a lot of TikTok shops are being taken down and people are being outraged. And I saw a guy doing a video to all these people saying, oh my God, you people on the TikTok shop freaking out. And he said, none of you went and even researched how to even be in business. And all the stuff I was saying, like they're just going and jumping on board. And apparently there was knockoff shops that were selling. I thought it was weird because these people kept going, yeah, this is a free people dress for $10. Yeah, this is these other name brands. And it was like $3. And people think like this is really real. And so they're selling knockoffs in their TikTok shop and calling them real. And so a whole thing has happened that is taking them down, and people's shops are being closed down. And this one guy was saying, some of you may go to jail. Like, you, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then you guys, like, this had to happen. You guys don't know shit. And, but that's this system, how it takes advantage of people. But everybody jumps on board. Like, oh, they just want to get out there and, just like this trucker guy, he just wants that big contract. Who cares if I'm going to go and destroy all the food? That's I get my paycheck, so who cares about anybody else? So all these people just don't care about anybody else. But there is one, it is, when you go on TikTok, it is almost entirely TikTok shop and people selling stuff. And I just cannot believe how many fucking grown adults in this period of time, in this recession, depression, complete chaos of our world, and they are sit there all day. Oh, you know what? You've got to have this. You just got to buy this. You can't even make another day without this. You got to buy this. This is so important. You've got to have this. How can you have a house without this? It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Shallow consumer artificial society. Oh, man. It's rough, man. It's rough. So, anyways, I'll talk to you later. I'm obviously not in the mood. I think I need more sleep. So, anyways, we'll have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.